On Friday, Iran unleashed Operation True Promise 3, launching over 150 ballistic missiles and more than 100 drones at Israel's cities, including Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. Named in response to earlier Israeli strikes on its nuclear and military sites, Tehran claimed the attack struck key targets, military bases, airfields, and even Israel Defense Forces command posts. It all began after Israel's early June Operation Rising Lion. Over 200 Israeli jets dropped more than 330 munitions on around 100 sites, including the Natanz and Isfahan nuclear installations. The strikes reportedly killed top IRGC generals, Hossein Salami and Mohammad Bagheri, alongside several nuclear scientists. Iran's response was swift. Hundreds of missiles were fired in multiple waves from Iranian soil. Israeli air defenses, including Iron Dome, David Sling, Patriot, and THAAD, intercepted most of them, assisted by U.S. ground systems. Still, some missiles or debris penetrated, hitting central Tel Aviv. A residential high-rise was struck, injuring dozens and causing fires. At least one civilian was killed, and over 40 people were reportedly injured. Sirens blared across major cities as public shelters filled up. Tehran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, vowed severe punishment and declared Israel's actions a declaration of war.
صهیونیستی اشتباه بزرگی کرد. خطای بزرگی کرد. غلطی کرد و عواقب او رو بیچاره خواهد کرد به توفیق الهی. زندگی برای اونها تلخ خواهد شد بدون تردید. فکر نکنند که زدند و تمام شد. نه. کار رو اونها شروع کردند و جنگ به راه انداختند. ما به اونها اجازه نخواهیم داد که از این جنایت بزرگی که انجام دادند خودشون رو سالم خلاص کنند. مسلم نیروی مسلح جمهوری اسلامی ضربه های سنگینی بر این دشمن خبیث وارد خواهد آورد. ملت هم پشتیبان ماست، پشتیبان نیروهای مسلح.
In response, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Iran's nuclear regime will pay the price, urging Iranians to rise against their leader.
To the brave people of Iran, and I have a message for them. Our fight is not with you. Our fight is with the brutal dictatorship that has oppressed you for 46 years. I believe that the day of your liberation is near. And when that happens, the great friendship between our two ancient peoples will flourish once again.
The U.S. supported missile intercepts and deployed naval forces. U.S. President Trump commended Israel's actions and called on Iran to make a deal before further escalation. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres called for urgent de-escalation. Meanwhile, global oil markets spiked amid mounting tension. Historically, this marks Iran's third direct missile attack on Israel. The conflict reflects a persistent pattern of preemption and retaliation. Iran remains focused on retaining regional influence despite suffering infrastructure losses, while Israel continues to prioritize neutralizing what it sees as existential threats. Geopolitically, the confrontation risks igniting a broader regional war. Though Hezbollah and Hamas have been weakened, any miscalculation, such as involvement from Yemen or other proxies, could trigger a multi-front conflict. Diplomatically, the U.S. balances its military support for Israel with efforts to revive nuclear talks with Iran. Scientifically, concerns have arisen over potential radioactive contamination at Natanz, though the IAEA currently reports manageable levels. Militarily, joint U.S.-Israeli air defenses performed effectively, but Iran's expanding missile capabilities, including advancements in hypersonic technology, remain a significant threat. Psychologically, the strikes have deeply affected Israeli civilians. Scenes from Tel Aviv showed shattered windows, smoke plumes, and terrified citizens scrambling for safety. In Iran, state media praised the attack as a demonstration of precision and strength, though domestic voices expressed concern about potential escalation and mixed hopes for political change. Economically, oil prices surged as investors braced for long-term instability in the region. What comes next remains uncertain. Netanyahu has warned of additional strikes unless Iran's missile and nuclear infrastructure is dismantled. Iran has hinted at further actions, though its proxies currently remain quiet. The US continues to push diplomacy even as its warplanes and naval destroyers maintain a strong regional presence. The world now stands at a crossroads: diplomacy or deeper conflict. The response of global powers in the coming days could shape the future of the region and beyond.